What is going on, everybody? We are back on NASCAR Heat 5, but a new 10-part mini-series that'll be coming out here across the next few months, I guess, or next month or so, as we are checking out the NASCAR Legends mod that was just put out by High C. He's had one before, it's kind of been updated a bit here, and I've never actually done anything with it. So we're doing a 10-part 2022 playoff schedule with the NASCAR Legends here. You can see it has a mix of course, NASCAR Legends, but as well current stars like Joey Logano, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski, very successful drivers of the modern day NASCAR, but mostly filled up with past drivers that were superstars of the sport. You guys already know I'm going to be Jeff Gordon here for this Darlington opener, and we're going to try and get Jeff Gordon a NASCAR Legends Championship. Here's who's in the playoffs. We got Tony Stewart, Richard Petty, Jeff Burton, Kyle Busch, Michael Waltrip, Rusty Wallace, Kyle Larson, Logano, Bobby Labonte, Kyle Petty, Dale Sr., Mark Martin, Kevin Harvick, Jeremy Mayfield, Matt Kenseth, and Jeff Gordon ourselves here in the 16-driver playoff grid for 10 races that span all the way across towards the point to where we get to Phoenix, which is an absolutely abysmal season finale. But nonetheless, we are ready to kick things off with an exciting one. Darlington Raceway's Southern 500. I am a big fan of driving this track in NASCAR Heat 5. This is my first lap on NASCAR Heat 5 in quite a while, other than the next gen mod that we checked out, so on the Gen 6 car. So I was a little bit concerned of how this one was going to go, and I think you're going to see in the first couple of rounds of this playoff with this Legend mod series, you're going to see a lot of kind of spread out kind of stuff with the points, because it's random on who gets in the playoffs and whatnot. So I think you're going to see some drivers get eliminated by a very large amount of points, and then as we get to the round of 8 and of course the final 4, it'll get closer and closer. As we cross the line with a 29.499, that puts us P11 with Jeff Gordon in the Southern 500. But we'll check out the rest of the starting grid to see who beat us. Cale Yarborough there in P10, Denny Hamlin and Dale Earnhardt Sr. on the front row here in Darlington. Dale Sr., I imagine, going to be a tough one to beat, but as well Denny Hamlin, one of the Darlington legends here. As we look a little bit further down the field, Truex and Dale Jr. the bottom part of the top 30, and Terry Labonte at the back of the grid. So we are ready to go. Green flag racing. You see Labonte not nearly as fast as expected as Hamlin. He's been dominant all weekend. Things are looking pretty good for that number 11 Sport Clips Toyota Camry. And like I said, one of the Darlington legends, Denny Hamlin, has so much success, and it doesn't seem to matter what kind of car you put him in, an Xfinity car, Gen 6 Cup car, next gen. He's always so strong here, and we're about to see how strong he is tonight under the lights in Darlington as this NASCAR Legends series is underway for 10 races here in this 2022 playoff schedule. Now just behind Casey Kane in the number 5 Farmers Insurance Motorsports Camaro, of course teammates along with myself, Jimmy Johnson. I think we got, Terry Labonte, Dale Jr., Chase Elliott. There's like 6 or 7 cars on the Hendrick Motorsports roster in this 10-part series. Now as you can see, us going to the inside of the 88 of Dale Jarrett here on the exit of turn 4. Look at the speed in that 88, and here comes Casey Kane around the outside. Someone slow up in front of us, so it's the 17 of Matt Kenseth who's holding up Carl Edwards in the 99 off a Steepo Ford Mustang, and we're going to jump up to this outside here and just cruise around the 2003 NASCAR Cup Series champion there. So we get clear of Kenseth, move up to P7, and then it wasn't long though until Jimmy Johnson was breathing down my neck. Here he is, lap 3, coming through the center of 1 out of turn 2. He's going to get to my inside, and I didn't really have much for him, and I got a little bit loose right there, nearly into the outside wall now as we lose some momentum, and that allows Carl Edwards to actually attack as well and make a pass. So we drop down into P9 here on this 28 lap opening stage, but it wasn't long until we would follow back and actually get to the inside of Edwards once again here, down into turn 3 on lap 4. This should be the opportunity right here to clear this number 99. He is going to fight back briefly, but not enough. We get clear of Carl Edwards there now. So back up into 8th place as we try to run down the cars up in front of us, and it would take some time here. 20 laps to go in stage 1, and we had reeled in Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Johnson up there in front of us, Dale Jarrett. All of those 3 drivers were getting closer and closer to us now. down. You can see out of turn 2 now on lap 11 to the inside of that number 29 Good Wrench white and black Chevrolet Camaro. But we continue side by side through 3 and 4 down this front straightaway, 17 to go on the stage, and we are drag racing there down into turn 1. Harvick though briefly actually manages to find a way to get clear, and it wasn't until lap 12 through turn 3 when I get up the inside again. But smoke up ahead, it's looking like Casey Kane in the number 5 has blown maybe a right rear tire, left rear tire, and gone around. The caution is going to fly for the first time here in Darlington, and we would all pit for 4 tires, fill it up with fuel, and get ready to get back underway here now as we are going to go green once again. But now past the halfway point in stage 1, fuel is no longer a factor. You can go, I think, about 22-ish, 23 laps or something like that on fuel here, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure I brought up the UI at some point to check that out here as we're behind this 88, and you can see on the inside, look at this, we got actually, that's Ricky Rudd and the number 10 Tide Machine, who stayed out on the track, and he is significantly off the pace. So all of us on the outside benefited severely against the inside, and all of a sudden we're up into 4th place here, battling with the 88 of Dale Jarrett. There is some really fast cars here. Denny Hamlin's really fast. Dale Earnhardt is really fast. Those two are definitely faster than me currently. The 18 of Kyle Busch also really quick. So those are kind of the 3 drivers I was paying attention to. You see a little bit of looseness again there on the exit of turn 2 into turn 3, though. We're going to go for a spin. On lap 17, we go around. We come back up the track and get hit by the 5 of Kane, who's involved in his second accident of the day. The caution flies again here in stage 1, and we're going to come in and throw some tires on it and try to hit the reset button there as the apron strikes in NASCAR Heat 5. And you would think after, what, 3 years that you would learn not to wreck yourself on the apron. However, I haven't learned. Now as we are back underway, and it's going to be 9 laps or 8 laps of racing here in stage 1. And there is so many slow cars back here. Obviously, we're at the back of the grid, but they are somehow like 4 or 5 seconds off the pace in qualifying, I think it was, and you will see just how slow some of these guys are throughout this race as we get some green flag runs. But I finally get an opportunity to jump down to the inside, so taking full advantage of that, going 3 wide here with Dale Jr. As he's having a really rough night in the gray ghost throwback paint scheme that Jeff Gordon actually drove instead of Dale Jr. back in 2016 when Jr. was out with a concussion. As we would continue marching our way through the field, look at us slicing through. These guys look like they're on the brake pedal on the exit of the corner down the straightaways, and we just continue forward. We were running out of time. I knew I wasn't going to get stage points at this point after that accident, but just trying to set myself up to the best possible scenario here for stage 2. Now behind the 19 of Martin Truex Jr., kind of letting him briefly guide me through the traffic for about a lap or so here as we would follow him past the 27 of Rusty Wallace. You'll see him in the 2 car at some points as well, but then I go 3 wide here with Truex and Tony Stewart down the back straightaway as well, settle in behind Mark Martin here as we came through to the final lap of the stage, and now again to the inside, and this will put us up into P17 past that Valvoline number 6. Next up, it is going to be the 14 of Clint Boyard. Do we have enough time to get to him? Absolutely we do here, as we would be all over the back of that 14 on the exit of turn 2 down the back straightaway, moving up the inside. Denny Hamlin already coming through to win stage 1 here from Darlington. Not going to be stage points, but P16, a fantastic recovery considering about 10 laps ago we were spinning around towards the barrier. So P16 here in stage 1, very happy with that there. Chase Elliott, Kurt Busch in the number 9 and the 97 just in front of us, and you can see getting 1 stage point there is Bill Elliott, but Dale Sr. there on the front row for the restart in stage 2. It looks like with Denny Hamlin, he has been just as strong as that 11, but Hamlin's had just enough to stay ahead as we do gain 1 spot on the pit lane. Thankfully, that moves us to the inside line. You guys know I like to run the outside when I can, but this is certainly a track where I don't want to be restarting on the outside. It is so difficult to get an outside restart done correctly here at Darlington Raceway, and you're going to see me probably hit the wall a few times on a restart at some point tonight, depending on, of course, what lane that we start in here. But stage 2 underway in a few less laps here in stage 2 than stage 1, making it a bit closer on fuel if it goes green, but based off of what we just saw in stage 1, would be a bit surprised if we saw that, because we had a couple of cautions collisions there in that first and opening stage. One, of course, caused by me. One of them actually came from our teammate of Casey Kane. So Hendrick Motorsports currently the root of every problem here in this race here now as we come through to lap 2, trying to get to the outside, but then I'll go to the inside of Chase Elliott down into turn 3 out of turn 4. This is to go up into 12th place here. The 9 Hooters machine, not the most speed for Chase Elliott here tonight now as we would continue forward. Now up the inside of Kevin Harvick, and there's the king of Richard Petty in the playoffs, by the way. What would Richard Petty be like in a playoff system, I have to wonder now. Is actually contact with the number 43 on the exit of turn 4. I pushed him up the track. I was plowing. I was really tight there, and unfortunately I just pushed right up too much into the side of him, and we nearly crashed, but fortunately we are able to avoid an accident, and now we march back past the 99 and just continue again, just keep pushing forward. We have a top 5 car easy here in Darlington. Now on raw pace, we don't have a car that's, in my opinion, capable of winning the race. However, as you guys know, NASCAR Heat 5, the AI, the strategy, the yellows, all that stuff, there is always things happening that give you opportunities to capitalize, or there's things that happen that take your opportunities to capitalize away and actually gives you a worse outcome than what it could have been. So you never know what you're going to get in NASCAR Heat 5, and that's one of the things I love about NASCAR Heat 5 here as we come through to lap 9 of 25. If it stays green to the end of the stage, we're going to be very close on fuel, and the AI might actually come into the pit lane just out of precautionary reasons. Versus myself, I think I would stay out. So I was kind of hoping this stage would stay green so I could get an opportunity to actually steal a stage victory, but the odds of a stage going fully green, pretty unlikely as we clear the number 5 of Kyle Larson, another teammate of ours. That's like the 7th one here. 13 laps to go in stage 2, halfway now as we had run down Dale Jarrett, and there you see Terry Labonte. He's in 40th place, a lap down, smoke up ahead. It's actually the number 11 of Denny Hamlin, who's dominated everything. Qualified pole, one stage 1, has led every single lap. He is going to be out of the race, and that was a huge opportunity for myself because everybody checked up, and all of a sudden I went up to P3 behind Casey Kane. So now the fight was on with the third number 5 car in the field here. You can see us passing Kyle Petty, and this battle for second turned into a battle of not for, you know, who's got the more pace. It's who is better at working their way through lap traffic here. And actually you can see myself briefly scrape the wall there on the exit of turn 4, but we would kind of reset, get back going, get past Alan Kolwicki and the number 7 Dale Earnhardt out in front here, but we're all over the back again to the 5 of Kane to the inside now. On the exit of turn 2, we were side by side into turn 3 as well. Here's Trevor Bayne in front of us to the number 21. We're gonna have to split him 3 wide if we want to keep pace with this number 5 of Kane. He still does get clear down this front straightaway, but having some fantastic battles right here with our Hendrick teammate Kane. Gets past the 12 of Jeremy Mayfield. I would pass him as well. We would pass Dale Jr., who is way up the pace. The 17 of Kenseth really holds up the 5. Here's my opportunity. We take a 3 wide with the 5 and pull him backwards and move up into second place behind Dale Earnhardt. And now it was looking like it was going to stay green for the whole stage. 5 laps to go, 5 laps of fuel. So I myself am going to stay out to the end of the stage and try to win the stage, and I was expecting everybody to pit, and actually you can see on the track map some cars starting to come into the pit lane. Dale Earnhardt pits from the lead with 3 laps to go, or coming to 3 laps to go in the stage, and practically everybody would come into the pit lane other than I think 2 drivers, Brad Keselowski and Ryan Newman, with 1 lap to go in the stage here. Now in stage 2 we actually get into the outside wall in 1 and 2. Fortunately we have an unbelievably massive lead, so there is nothing to worry about. But you see the fuel light on, you see the tire light on. It's very close on fuel, but even if we run out of fuel right now, we will still win stage 2 because we'll have enough to cruise. And a good thing I say that, because right there out of turn 4 we start running out of fuel here down the front straightaway. We cruise it back to the line. We win stage 2 here in Darlington. We didn't have a car capable of winning the stage straight up, but with Denny Hamlin being out of the race, I would say we are probably a top 3 car or so here in Darlington. And if things work out properly, like Dale Earnhardt has some struggles and gets caught in traffic like he is right now, we might have a chance to win this race. You see the final top 10 here in the standings coming up on your screen in just a second. There it is. Dale Earnhardt Sr. down in 8th place. 3rd place on down is all trapped a lap down. Everybody pitting does not get the lucky dog. Everybody that stays out does. We have to come into the pit lane, myself and Kozlowski do. So you can see Dale Sr., he's staying out, so he does get the wave around. He will restart P4. Denny Hamlin being out of this race, there's 3 drivers I'm concerned about for this restart, and it has nothing to do with Brad Keselowski, who's on my inside here. It's Dale Earnhardt, it's Kyle Busch, it's Kasey Kahne. Those seem to be the 3 fastest cars remaining in this race that are capable of outpacing myself on raw speed on this circuit. However, now we have traffic that favors us here, side by side with the 2. Out of turn 2, we actually get to the outside wall there. I lost the rear end, up into the wall we went. Fortunately, we are able to continue on in the right direction and actually virtually not even damage this car. Barely anything had been done to it. So we continue on, and we're going to get clear on the exit of turn 4 of this number 17. And now we will move on and try to run it down Keselowski once again. It's all about NASCAR legends, but here's Keselowski, a modern day driver, leading the field, but we're trying to change that by putting Jeff Gordon back out in front, side by side into turn 3. Keselowski fighting hard here. Now, I was trying so hard to get around this number 2 car. We had already built up a huge gap to 3rd place on back. Drag racing again here down this back straightaway with the 2 of Keselowski into turn 3. You can make the outside work pretty well in turn 3 if you really need to, and you can see still side by side with the 2. I'm trying my best to clear him on the exit of turn 4 right here so I can just basically hit cruise control and run away, but it's not going to happen. Now side drafting this 2 across the line. 29 laps still to go in this race. A lot of racing, potentially a green flag pit stop, so I had to remind myself, hey, we got a lot of time left before this race is over. There you see a switchback on the 2 on the exit of the corner. A little bit of contact there, door banging down the back straightaway, but finally right here's our opportunity into turn 3 to get clear, and sure enough, we do exactly that. So we take the lead in Darlington. Jeff Gordon is back out in front, and then we would be able to have that opportunity to just simply run away. And we had built up a gap of about 5 seconds to Brad Keselowski here by the time we came through towards lap 69 area. And actually, I was just concerned about Dale Earnhardt. Well, Dale Earnhardt would get up in a second, and he was actually closing the gap. The gap had now closed to below 5 seconds. So I'm hoping it stays green. I don't want Dale Earnhardt to get anywhere near me here as we are coming up on lap traffic of Terry Labonte in 21 laps to go is where it might all fall apart for winning this race. The caution flies. We're all coming into the pit lane for 4 tires, 1 can of fuel. So we do restart as the leader, but obviously Dale Earnhardt is now alongside us. Are we about to see a Jeff Gordon versus Dale Earnhardt in 2022 on NASCAR Heat 5? We're about to find out. 18 laps ago from Darlington Southern 500, and we have found an opportunity to win here on this Southern 500. Dale Earnhardt, it's all about what kind of happens with him. Right now you see on the exit of turn 2 in my rear view mirror, I'll look back. He's side by side with Keselowski, hoping he doesn't get clear, but hope is not enough. Earnhardt clear of the number 2 down into turn 3, and that number 3 Wrangler machine is going to hunt us down extremely quick as we exit turn 4. He is already here to our rear bumper, looking to our inside down this front straightaway. I know I just don't have anything for this 3 right now down into turn 1. I don't even fight him, and here comes Kasey Kahne out of nowhere. I didn't even realize he was coming. Earnhardt had a bad center of the corner. I get brought back into the battle on the exit of turn 2. Contact with the 5 of Kasey Kahne into the outside wall we go. Keselowski's going to slip past as well. Here comes the 9 of Bill Elliott as well. Just like that, you know, everything once again kind of finds a way to fall apart here. Now, it's not over yet, but definitely our chances of winning have been slimmed by quite a bit with Dale Earnhardt getting in front of us here. You see Cale Yarborough in this 28 getting in front of myself, but it wasn't long till I would be able to fight back to his inside literally a corner later, and we would pass him and Keselowski again. Keselowski doing a great job. He doesn't have the most speed, but he's certainly having a strong top 10 run currently. But now to lap 80, and you can see settling in here to P4 with 13 laps to go behind Bill Elliott. And you got Dale Earnhardt with a comfortable gap over Kasey Kahne, and it's an increasing gap. Lap 81 now, and I just, unfortunately, I got speed, but I can't quite close in on the back of Bill Elliott to the point where I can really attack him for position. So I realize at this point, you know, without a caution, we're really not going to be able to accomplish much more than this 4th place running position out of turn 2, and you can see the gap really not changing, but there it is. The caution comes out with 8 laps to go. It appears to be potentially for Kevin Harvick in that number 29, and we're all going to stay out up here and get ready for now a late race restart, which I would assume it's going to be about 5 laps of racing. And here is a little bit of a concern. No, it's going to be 4 laps of racing, but Dale Earnhardt, Kasey Kahne in the front row. But the concern for me, starting on this outside line here now, basically my mentality for this restart, put it in the wall or just come out of it with a lot of position out of it here, but I don't think it's going to work in our favor. We've already lost actually a spot, and actually contact with the 88 right there of Dale Jarrett. It wasn't wasn't even myself putting myself in the wall. We have contact with the 88, and there you see the damage now. The 48, the 29, they slipped through on the inside as well. Down to P10 in turn 3 and 4. Kyle Busch now as well within a car length or so. We know that 18 has been fast. He's not quite got the track position, but then in the next corner, I'm chasing this thing up the track into the outside wall again. Contact with the 18 M&M's Toyota Camry. He saves it. What a save. I am now in an 18 sandwich with Kyle Busch and Bobby Labonte as well here now with 3 laps to go, approaching the final 2 laps now, and Dale Earnhardt Sr. is cruising to victory. Bill Elliott up into second place. I fall down to 12th place. There is no way we're about to lose out on a top 10. White flag in the air here from Darlington, and we are all over the back of Labonte and the King, Richard Petty. Labonte tries to look up the inside. Here's my chance to catch them both off guard. We get past the 18 of Labonte. We're already to the left rear of Richard Petty, and we should be able to get a top 10 at least out of this, which is a decent recovery, but still doesn't paint the picture of the day we were having or the night we were having. Dale Earnhardt Sr. wins the series opener in Darlington, logs himself into the round of 12, recross the line for a solid but at the same time disappointing P10 in Darlington. You see Cale Yarborough ended up second place over Bill Elliott, Casey Kane, Dale Jarrett, Kyle Larson with a great result as well. Jimmy Johnson here in the top 10. You'll see the rest of the finishing order on your screen. But you know, what a race. Honestly, it was fantastic racing here at NASCAR Heat 5 throughout the whole night of 92 laps. It's a lengthy one, the longest one probably of the series, so it's only shorter from here in terms of the amount of laps that we have. But yeah, that is going to wrap it up for this first episode of this little mini series. I really do hope you guys enjoyed it. You see, we are second best in the playoff grid right now, 26 above the cut line. Kenseth, Logano, Mayfield, Kyle Petty all have some work to do. That's going to do it for me. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you one more time for watching, and have yourselves a great day.